It's 10 o'clock in Sewiston. I'm Jessica Henderson. And if you're listening to this, there is no need for me to tell you what the main headline of the hour is. It's already been threatening our existence for the entire broadcast, and it is very real to all of us already. No, what I need to tell you is what's being done to try and change the path we're on, to divert our planet from its current course towards complete atmospheric collapse. And I'll start by taking you down below Millennial Hypertar 17 in downtown Sewiston to our Secure Administration Center, to WRAT reporter Graciela Perez, who is tapped into the worldwide effort to uncover how we got to where we are and what the global experts believe we can do about it. Graciela?
Jessica, as you heard earlier from Gertrude, and we also determined through our own connections with the Meteorological Bureau, the North Pole seems to be the focal point of disturbances which are continuing to drive the demise of our atmosphere. We at the SSAC have become an effective, focused machine with the sole objective of restoring temperature balance in that region and hopefully allowing our resilient planet a chance to restart the crucial airflow circulations that hold our atmosphere together.
That's good news as far as it goes, Graciela, but what does it mean in practical terms? What we need here is direct action, and now that your team and Gertrude's have identified the source of our troubles, of the planet's threat, someone somewhere has to get out there and see if it can be fixed.
Which is precisely what we are working on, Alison. But it can't just happen instantly, and there is no point in sending out some unprepared military personnel who will not only be unable to interpret what they encounter, but also ill-equipped to do anything about it. We are assembling a team of scientists and engineers, providing them with appropriate instruments and a set of high-altitude drones capable of remote monitoring, observation, and interventive measures. This takes time, Jessica.
And we're all very grateful that there's a competent, clear-thinking team working on solving the problem, Graciela. But I believe our meteorological experts have made it clear. We have no time.
Jessica, our estimates indicate that, at best, we cannot deploy our task force earlier than an hour from now. This would place them in the vicinity of the pole near midnight, 2 hours from now. This is a global effort, Jessica. The fastest response we can muster.
All right, Graciela. I guess we'll just have to hope it's not too little too late. Now, when we spoke to you earlier, you mentioned a dialogue with the supposed perpetrators of the crisis we're facing. Do you have any more news on that negotiation, and does that figure into your plan to get this team to the pole?
It was not exactly a negotiation, Jessica. More a sort of incredulous discussion. Nobody on our end could believe what we were hearing, or that the representatives we were talking to would be willing to openly admit to what was done. But this much is clear. The North Pole incident appears to have been, at the very least, funded by, if not specifically approved by, this organization. They are almost as concerned as we are about exactly what that investment has caused. And they appear willing to support our initiative to try and do something about it.
So does that mean they're going to do anything on their own part? You know, of course, what I'm referring to. Our mysterious mothership, the one Carmen and Haley are aboard. Could it be that ship is connected with your unnamed corporation? Or that its clearly unique capabilities might be brought to bear on the problem at hand?
Yes, I know what you're getting at, Jessica. But I can assure you that there was no dialogue around that particular craft, its role, or its capabilities. In fact, apart from the communication we have from WRAT reporters, we have no evidence from this end that the craft even exists. If there is any connection between the two, I cannot speak to it. And if that ship, whatever and wherever it is to be in any way engaged in the current crisis, it is not information that has been shared with us.
So it's back to Carmen and Haley then, after all, with your team as backup. Because I think, as many of us do, that if we don't get this done within the hour...
I know, Jessica, but we will keep trying nonetheless, and we'll let you know if anything new arises. SSEC out.
And Jessica, it may not seem immediately relevant given Graciela's news, but we have a live connection coming in from Melanie Ross,
who at last report was pursuing the fleeing terrorists along the subway tunnels south of the North Terminus Lifestyle Centre. Melanie, you're on the air. Tell us what's going on.
Ellison, I think I've got a report that after commandeering the shuttle, I am now on board the craft that picked up the missing team, which means there is no longer a terrorist threat in the North Terminus area. So that means the subway is clear. There's no possible way we just got there by chance. Although I can't quite understand what purpose the terrorist act served, especially now. But I can say they were military in nature. In the manner of command structure. Despite the toned down outward image they try to portray.
Melanie, wherever you are, your signal seems to be either very weak or actively jammed. It's only coming through in fragments. You say the subway tunnels are clear of threats. How can you confirm this?
If I'm not really receiving clear either. Sorry for the poor signal, but I'm not really sure how it's getting through at all. I was chasing the terrorists, pursued them out Miranda. Shuttles, one en route when I arrived, and two others just lifting off. The last was just loading, so I commandeered it. A little persuasive, unfortunately, and took out. Then I piloted solo, followed the others up to this huge ship, unmarked, but definitely the others, and made a point of blending in, dressed like them. Several terrorists got from one of the original occupants. We were all escorted to a secure holding area, but I managed to slip aside and built out a monitoring station, which I hacked into and started digging through the onboard. I now have full access, but so much here, hard to make sense of it. We don't yet know exactly what's going on up here. You know me, I'll keep digging until I get some answers.
Melanie, it's difficult to piece together all you're saying, but it sounds like you're on board a large, unmarked craft that was stationed above the lifestyle centre. If this is true, I want you to know that you're not alone on that ship. Carmen Electra boarded it over an hour ago, and Haley Klassen not long before you got there. I'll have to assume they don't know you're there at all, but I'd suggest you try and find them. Carmen is, as I'm sure you'll understand, taking charge of trying to divert or at least influence the mission of that ship. I know you would bring just a little more impact to any persuasive arguments she makes.
Alright, that's great news, Alison. I'll figure out a way to connect, and if you also alert them, we can all get working on the problem together. That's that much fun. I'll start by scanning the channels that are active on the ship. See if I WRAT secure link. Although I'm not masked. Meantime, I'll wear the uniform. And if needed, I'll play the part. Ship, so my lieutenant command role. My style. I'm pretty used to taking charge, moving under my own initiative. Haley needs looking after though. She's a natural talent for getting into trouble. I'll track them. We'll come up with a plan. Either get off the ship or make it change its intentions.
Melanie, we'll try to connect directly with Carmen and Haley. They should be together by now. We'll let them know you're on board, and to keep their WRAT link gear active, so the three of you can find a way to join up. I know it's in your nature to take charge, and that assertiveness is exactly what you're going to need at some point up there. But please just remember to trust Carmen's instincts. She's got the gift of insight, one I've always found entirely unfathomable. The three of you up there together, well, if anything can be done from that ship to help us all in our plight, you're the team I would choose. So get it done.
I always follow Carmen's lead for my moment. It'll be quite the ride. We'll leave it up to you, Gene, in the subway, and make sure he knows it's all clear. Most of those down his court. We'll make sure. Channel open. I have no idea where in hell we are. So it'll be a journey down wherever the ship is going, and the mission that they're leading from. INL.
And as you say, Alison, if there were a team we could choose to manipulate the path of that ship, to guide its mission and direct its influence, they are on board now and ready to do what it takes. With Gertrude's report of active disruption near the pole, Garciela's confirmation from the SSAC and Carmen's sense that the craft is heading north, we can only hope there is a chance of intervention and possibly rescue from our current predicament.
Still a tall order if it comes to that, Vlad. Even for those three, for that ship, whatever its capabilities. We don't even have any idea what is really happening up there at the pole, so even if Carmen, Melanie, and Haley can direct the vessel to the location of the problem, there's no way to be sure it can do anything about it. But we're all hoping. And with Carmen, the realm of possibility is certainly not limited to the likely, the probable, or even the possible.
Located in our hidden warrens far beneath the city, WRAT's squad of intrepid reporters infest the city, unseen and unlooked for. Combined with the magic of video, we are the eyes and ears of this metropolis, and we're here 24/365 for you.
You've dreamed of it your whole life, a way to escape the stress and worry of the daily commute, to hand over the responsibility for getting you to and from work with confidence, certainty, and peace of mind. For the first time, this vision is real, and it can be yours. Introducing Zygote Transport System's latest remarkable creation, the Vulcan Whisper. Its automated, fully integrated guidance and control system learns from you. A single training run is all it needs. Just hand over the controls, and it will get you there quickly and safely, guaranteed. An isolated, independent drive system that needs no refueling and will operate in any environment. A luxuriously appointed, sealed cab for secure operation in the harshest conditions. A ride engineered to be so smooth you will not know you are moving at all. The Vulcan Whisper offers all this and more. Don't let the moment pass you by. Only from ZTS. We are all certainly at the mercy of events, Jessica, and for most of us that is the only thing we can think about at the moment. But we will remind Sewerston listeners that in an apparently remote galaxy on a very different and much more stable planet, our odious invaders are putting the finishing touches on an obliteration event unlike any ever seen in the speedball world. And our tail thrashers are celebrating a record-setting victory. WRT Sports anchor Tasha Mayfield has the updates for us. Tasha?
Vlad, only just in time, because as you say, finishing touches are all that remains at the Warren, where Lena Lightning Smith is there bearing witness to this historic landmark event. Lena? Flash, not sure if you can even hear me above the noise here, but we are into the final minute, and it is as if our invaders are superpowered out there, and their opponents simply rooted to the spot in awe or shock, or a little of both. Since the Triple S showed that spark of resistance and the invaders netted their 25th, it has been all socket out there, her squad maintaining near complete possession as they set her up for a continuous string of unanswered goals. In the dying seconds, the ball sets up from the center line, trashed to the yellow, off goes to Birdman, tossed to Chuck Weaver, and flips this up. Must be up for the 40th time, and it's all over. Invaders 40, Triple S 0. Unbelievable, Lena. Truly unbelievable. That is a score that will hold record for as long as records exist, and we can only hope, like the rest of the world, that is a very long time indeed. Take a relax, girl. I know you need it. Get back to us when your heart rate drops back under 100. You got it, Flash. And Socket is sure to have a few words for the speedball world if I can pin him down long enough. Speaking of words of wisdom from sporting superstars, we have a few lined up from the Underworld Heap, where Ghost Fabian has managed to corner at least one of the team captains, following the epic contest between our tail thrashers and visiting Asaka Oblivion. Ghost, over to you, my friend.
Tasha, I planned to do this in stages, but it has not worked out that way, as the current crisis out in the real world has reduced us to only one change room for the two teams. So all players are in here together and, as I'm sure you can hear, it is nothing short of pandemonium. Both teams are in full celebration mode, and I am pleased to report that the spirit in this room both that of sportsmanship and that of alcoholic bliss, is free-flowing. I have managed, at least for a brief moment, to corner both Banshee and Cat for a few words before they fully immerse themselves in the festivities. Ladies, I don't know what to say. A display like what you put on tonight has never been seen in live fire before.
And may never be seen again, Ghost. When you put two teams of this caliber against each other, you literally get a game of cat and very unpredictable mouse, where the mouse is actually several very difficult to pin down rats, who on their home turf are near impossible to stomp out. You mentioned spirit a few moments ago, Ghost, and you missed out one kind of spirit, which is what your name and that of my opponent here represent. Elusive, intimidating, and powerful. So compliments aside, here's what really matters. By ourselves, we put on a good game, both the cat and the spirited rat. But put us head to head and suddenly we ramp up the energy, elevate the game, feed off each other to drive the entire squad into a frenzy of performance. It only works with such great team players on either side, working as a single coordinated unit, acting and reacting as one. Then we drive each other beyond what any of us could do on our own. I can't wait for the next time we meet, B. Only this time, we'll be on the O at Osaka, and you will find out what Oblivion really stands for. And can you think of a better place for us to show that the invaders are just that, and wherever they go, they will dominate? Go and rest up all you can, Cat. Frenzy or no frenzy, you'll need all your strength when we see each other again.
There you have it, Tasha. No humility or deference, a little posturing, but pure respect. And that shoulder thump before they headed back to their squads says it all. A special day here at the Heap, one none of us will forget. From the Underworld Heap, this is Orson Ghost Fabian for WRAT Sports.
I can't imagine how Banshee and Cat must both feel after the performances their teams put on tonight. But you can tell, as Ghost says, they are inspired to greatness in each other's presence, pushing each other to new heights of achievement. Awesome. And I think that's the kind of spirit, as Ghost alluded to, that we need in Suriston tonight. Not the alcoholic kind, but the human kind. Back to you, Vlad.
We cannot underestimate the spirit of humanity, Tasha, and that is certainly what we are all needing tonight. So thank you, and to our sports teams and the WRAT reporters that brought us this very timely taste of what it's all about, why we do these things we do, and why it's important.
Well said, Vlad. But we're still going to need a little intervention of one kind or another, and my money's on Carmen Electra to bring it to us. We have her on the line again from somewhere, maybe not even on our planet. Carmen, what can you tell us?
Well, Allison, looks like our WRAT team just grew to 2, as I just picked up Haley Klassen from the flight deck. And we are both now in the uniforms of crew members on this highly unusual ship, on our way to, well, somewhere my investigations to date have not yet revealed. But you heard the announcement last time we talked. Answering a crisis. Urgent emergency maneuvers.
Carmen, even if the ship's heading north towards the source of our atmospheric breakdown, there's no telling what it plans to do when it gets there. But we, the collective we, need you to do whatever is in your power to ensure that it acts in the best interest of the planet. Even if those in control of the ship don't share your view of what that action is. We need you, Carmen, to take the steps necessary.
Allison, Carmen has that well in hand already. She has managed to find a way to slip us onto the ship's complement, part of the crew without being part of the crew. And she has designated herself a role as a science officer, with myself as her assistant. How I do not know. But we are about to open a conversation with the captain regarding the nature of what must be happening at the pole. Haley has been very helpful regarding the general behavior of this craft since I boarded, and has filled me in on what you've been reporting about the exact nature of our dilemma, what we know of the events at the pole. The only way we can really find out what can be done is to talk directly to someone who knows about this ship and what it can do. And there's no time to waste.
I agree, Carmen. But do you and Haley have your WRAT secure comms active? I've another little surprise for you.
Toggling back on now. I see what you mean. Be good to have Melanie join our little task force. Alright, sounds like she's down at Barracks B, not far from here. We'll swing by and take her along. I'm sure she's already on the ship's official roster. She's the one who taught me all I know about infiltration. And by the way, about comms hardware, which is what I'm using to talk to you now, mobile, some special gear needed to talk in or out of this ship, and I figured out how to use it, thanks to Haley here and Melanie's training. I guess having a clearly military escort for our encounter with the captain is probably not just wise, but also likely expected considering the highly charged nature of our situation. We'll keep you advised.